is Enrique Garcia Freitas. I'm 30 years old. I was born in Venezuela and been living in Texas for the better half of my life. I guess I'll be talking about how I got into aviation and how my current job is actually in naval aviation as a civilian contractor. So growing up, I wasn't particularly interested in airplanes and anything of that nature. But my dad was really into them. He did model airplanes, and he's a really big airplane, military plane fanatic and buff. Just an immense knowledge on airplanes and aviation and how they work and how they fly and the physics behind them. And throughout high school, I started really getting into them, and I wanted to work with them. I wanted to put my hands on them. So during high school is when I decided to join the United States Navy and try and become a jet mechanic. After high school, I didn't really have a really good heading on what I wanted to do in life, and I had some really good friends. They were going to join the military, and we all kind of joined at the same time, different branches. Some of us went Air Force, some of us went Navy, some of us went Army. I got to go into the Navy, and I got into the Naval Aviation field. Got a job as an airframe structural mechanic, and then got orders to VFA 147 in Naval Air Station Lemoore to work on F-18s on Echoes. My favorite experiences were honestly seeing the amount of work that we put into a single jet and seeing it fly. I think that's the culmination of everyone putting their hands on a jet and putting everything that they know, all their knowledge, all their experience, and all their talent towards making this multi-million-dollar aircraft go up in the air and just rip to the skies is one of my favorite things to see. So after finishing up my contract with the Navy, I ended up getting out and I went into college. Was doing IT work. I was doing all kinds of just random jobs, and at the time though it just didn't really pan out. And I had a mentor when I was in the Navy. He actually lived in South Texas at the time, and he really just wanted me to get down there and work with him. So that's how I got into my career that I'm in right now as a jet mechanic in a civilian field. So my mentor reached out to me, and we've been really good friends. So good friends that actually the year that I got out of the military, he asked me to be the best man at his wedding, and I agreed and went to South Texas and was the best man, and it was a great wedding. He told me at the time that he was gonna start looking into jobs in South Texas, and he was gonna look at these aviation jobs. Well, a couple years later on, he reached out to me and he asked me if I wanted to work in aviation. First time, it was me really just trying to still figure out college, but the second time, it's when I knew that I needed to kind of move on from college and do something that I was good at. I didn't have to take training courses to get a job. I used my skills that I got when I was in the military. So it was like riding a bike. I mean, I hadn't done it for so long, and as soon as I picked up my tools and I started looking at diagrams and reading blueprints and looking at publications, it was just like, getting back into it. So at the moment, I work on T-45 training aircraft, and they're the training jets for the military right now for the Navy and Marine pilots. It's a small two-seater aircraft. I pretty much call them like baby Hornets, the real small jets. But just like any training aircraft or like any kind of training vehicle, they get used, abused, and they're a little bit older, so they do get a little beat up sometimes. So it's really our job to kind of upkeep them, make sure they're flying, and make sure that they're very safe for the student pilots and the instructors to go flying in them. I've met a good amount of friends from the career. I've met a lot of prior enlisted. Right now the job, and especially our shop, is really diverse, from people that have never been in the military to people that have gotten their A&P license, to a lot of us that have been in the Navy, have been in the Marines, have been in the Army and the Air Force. And really it's a small family. It's a small gathering of like-minded people who did the same thing a few years ago, if not up until now, and we all kind of think the same. We all kind of are trying to just get these jets up in the air and just do a good job. I see myself doing this for the future. I mean, it's a great job. I love what I do. I like the people that I work with. It's definitely something that I'm really good at. So something that I can work with my hands and be hands-on and figure how to troubleshoot certain parts of the jet is great, because every day I'm learning something. I definitely suggest this job to anyone that's kind of out there that doesn't really know what they want to do, as far as like a skill set or a job. You can always go to a 4-year college, or you can just do a technical degree. You can get your A&P license to work on aviation, and it's by far one of the best experiences that I've ever had, is just working on planes. It's hands-on, it's fast-paced, and the money's there. The piece of advice that I just kind of would tell, I guess, like a younger generation, or people that still don't know what they want to do in life, is try anything and try everything. Do different jobs, try different jobs. I've had, I want to say, more than a dozen jobs, and it's really just trial and error, seeing what you're good at, seeing what you want to do. At the end of the day, you can keep on working at that job, or you can get another job. It doesn't matter. It's not you failing, it's you trying to figure out what you want to excel in.